Shakespeare's just as popular today as he's always been. There's even a Royal Shakespeare company named after him who insist on putting on his shows, whether people want them or not. What is it about Shakespeare that makes them bother? Perhaps it's because he wrote about universal human needs, like wanting to murder a king or have a romance. We don't know much about how love and romance worked in olden times, because back then people didn't write blogs about their dating misadventures. But thanks to Shakespeare, what we do have is Romeo and Juliet, easily the finest romance of the pre-Dirty Dancing era. Romeo and Juliet is about these two rich, powerful families who hate each other. These two families are the Montagues, who sound quite posh, and the Capulets, who invented the headache tablet. They're perfectly happy having their feud until the touching moment Romeo, from one side, spots Juliet from the other. It's love at first sight, but from a distance, just like on Tinder.
My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Soon Romeo and Juliet are in love, even though they come from two different families, which is how we know it isn't set in Norfolk.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
To find out more about Romeo and Juliet, I went to talk to Shakespearean expert Stanley Wells.
Why do you think Romeo and Juliet is the most successful rom-com of all time?
Well, it's very beautiful, isn't it, the love story between Romeo and Juliet. It has some very beautiful poetry in it.
People like a happy ending, don't they?
Oh, they like a happy ending, yeah, but they don't get it, of course, here.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, the ending, they die. I mean, you know, the lovers, Romeo and Juliet, I mean...
They die at the end?
Oh, yes, Juliet poisons herself, and then Romeo comes in and he dies too.
So we should put a spoiler there, should we? OK.
But after that, their families are reconciled, so that's quite nice.
I don't understand why the Montagons and the Capulets just won't let them muck about together.
Well, they're not really adults, are they? I mean, Juliet's not yet 14. You know, a nurse says so in the play. She's only a young girl.
She's 13 years old.
That's right, yeah.
I'm not surprised the families are trying to split them up then. I'd have rang the police.
With the success of Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare was on a roll. He had respect and prestige, and he was coining it. If they had coins back then, I haven't checked. As his reputation grew, Shakespeare became popular with royalty, so he wrote stuff they'd enjoy in the hope of gaining power and influence, like Gary Barlow does now. Shakespeare's first royal fan was Queen Elizabeth I, the person, not the boat.